First thing that they say. Right when the camera starts moving. Intense.
Don't get it twisted either. They can still hear us.
Okay.
But
Inside my hoodie.
they need to recognize who's about to come on screen.
Sure. Yeah, I've been here. I've been on the other side of the screen waiting for the live to go live.
Here we are.
What up?
All right, I'll turn off this ridiculous music.
Yeah, it's all right.
There it is.
All right.
Kyle.
Hello.
What's up, dude?
What's up, my man? That was the most awkward high five of all time.
That's why I did it.
Good. I enjoyed it.
So
I feel right at home.
This always happens to me because I don't do show notes. Like
Okay.
I plan the show in my head and it goes off without a hitch. And then we hit record. And we're not going to probably talk about a damn thing I thought about.
Okay.
Because I don't even remember what they are.
That's okay.
So this is Kyle, by the way. He works up here with us.
Hello.
And where is here, you'll never know. But if you have some brains, they can figure it out. So, but came from... I've been noticing, because I talk to a lot of the guests, and they'll just over and over again, they are very, very impressed with Hawaii and what you were doing there.
Which is nice to hear, for sure. I've talked about it more in the last month than I have in the last year, but it was the biggest, baddest adventure of my life. Mm-hmm. Maybe never to be equaled, but it turned my life in a new direction, and I'm not looking back. So, super grateful.
How long were you in Hawaii, though, like start to finish?
So, if I'm going to nerd out on it in this podcast, I wasn't in Hawaii for very long at all, maybe a total of about a month. Most of the time I was on any number of the northwestern Hawaiian islands. If you look on a map, you'll see your standard 8 Hawaiian islands that are populated, and then about 14 little rocks and things that just kind of go northwesterly from Hawaii. None of those are populated by humans, but almost all are populated by endangered species. So it's known as the Papahānaumokuākea Marine National Monument.
Okay.
No commercial fishing or recreational diving or anything like that. It's just all to protect the animals. Midway, in particular, is the second to the last one in that chain. And it used to be a naval base.
Oh, Midway was some shit.
So you may have heard of the Battle of Midway. That's really what put it on the map. And back in the 90s, the military sort of relinquished their hold on the island and handed things over to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And now they run it as a national wildlife refuge. So it's technically, the rest of the islands are part of the state of Hawaii. Midway is part of it's an unincorporated territory of the United States. So to get all into all that, that's where I spent most of my time, about a year on Midway. And then a few weeks here, a few weeks there on some of those other places. Most of those other islands, you just have to take your gear and camp. And
really? Okay.
for you'll only be there for a few weeks at a time because there's no resources or anything. So
wow.
So Midway's like the hub. It gets food deliveries and things like that throughout the year. So there's people there that are there for extended periods of time.
So that was just you kind of do it's like a contract for 1 month, or you're going to come guard these animals with your life, learn about them.
So there's a lot of different facets to it. There's the Midway itself has a crew of about 10 to 12 people that are full-time members of the Fish and Wildlife Service, and they kind of rotate in and out on they'll be there for 6, 8, 9 months, go home for a month, maybe go back, depending on if their contract gets renewed, that sort of thing. So there were people out there that have been there for 5, 6, 7 years, kind of on a rotating basis. And then there are people out there just for a month, and then they go back to their job in the States. So my pathway was unconventional because I don't have any background in science or ecology or wildlife management or anything. I latched on to be a volunteer. They were recruiting people for a big project they were running out on Midway, and they needed just bodies. I signed up to take out the trash and do the recycling.
Wow.
And because I was in a dead-end bartending job and sick of it, and I needed some adventure and a way to find something new to do with my life. And so, as you do at 2:30 in the morning, just blindly searching the internet, I came across this project and said, well, I'll just throw an email. Nothing will happen. Somebody responded about 2 days later, and he said, look, we need people. I'm going to pass you on to the woman in charge of this thing. And she said, she gave me a shot. She said, I'll give you a shot if you want to come out here, and you get to live here for 3 months. And you take out the trash and the recycling, and we'll try to rid the island of mice. That was our point.
Sweet.
So they had white mice that had been introduced by the military, accidentally, and other sort of commercial enterprises that were on the island in the 30s and 40s. And for most of that time, they had coexisted just fine with the other animals on the island. But recently, in about 2015, they'd started attacking and feeding on the animals, on the birds. And so the Seabird Protection Project got put together, and I got to latch onto that. So it's supposed to be out there for 3 months, and ended up being out there for about 18.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is...
And that's really where the meat of the story happens. I'm just going to keep talking and tell me to stop. So,
Yeah.
I go out there, ride by, ticket to Hawaii. You land in Oahu, a couple days there, and then you got to take a private plane to Midway. It's the only way on the island. Besides, a couple times a year, a barge will show up. And Midway has an operating runway because it's of its location in the ocean. Any trans-Pacific airline flight has to be within a certain number of miles of an airport. So Midway has a functioning airport that's run by 3 people. And
Wow.
So the Fish and Wildlife Service leases a tiny little 9-passenger private plane that flies for 4 hours in the dark of night over deep ocean with nowhere to land, and drops you off on Midway. And I was there with a crew of about 5 other people that were doing this same job. And during the course of those summer months, I got there in May, and by August I had annoyed enough people by saying, what can I do to stay? That they said, well, we have this other job. Usually it's for people with degrees in marine biology, but half of the job is being able to survive on an island with no internet or cars or telephones or any way to talk to the mainland or whatever, and not go crazy and live and work and eat with the same people every day. And so since I'd been doing that for a while, once again, this time a different person said, I'll give you a shot. And I signed on for another 7 months doing that. And that led to a couple more jobs. They have similar jobs on a couple of those other islands out there. So I just kept not making a fool of myself enough that they kept giving me more opportunities. And I learned veterinary care for lake-sand teal ducks that are endangered, and I learned how to sneak up behind an albatross and pick it up without hurting it, and we're freaking it out, and so that we could put bands on its legs so that they can track it worldwide wherever it goes. I learned how to hunt Verbicina insoliotes, which is an invasive plant on Midway that they're trying to get rid of. Just all these very unusual activities that these people dedicate their lives to, and they were very generous with me and willing to teach me how to do those things. And I just said, this is what I want to be doing with my life from now on, something positive, something that maybe does more good than harm. So
no doubt. That's something that I like to talk about, because I think it's important to wake people up to the fact that if they're miserable and stuck in something they hate, they do not have to be. But they also need to understand that all those videos they watch that romanticize it is just leaving out more than half of the actual experience, because there is a fear level involved. And I was terrified just moving here.
Sure.
Now, 4 years later, almost 5, it feels like home, and you're isolated, and not to me. But my first night here, I just wanted to ball up and sob.
You talked about that to me early on. You said my first few weeks here or whatever were tough. It was tough to keep showing up. And I get that.
But it's turned into something beautiful with the community and the staff, and I'll never forget that. So if someone's miserable, they will stay miserable to feel safe. That's and that sucks. That's a sucky place to be. So take that risk and cry.
It's okay to fail, and it's okay to get hurt. It's not okay to avoid that. At the cost of just being safe, just being in your comfort zone. And I was for a long, long time,
Me too.
Bartending pays the bills. I know how to do it. I knew I could get a job where I wanted. There's no shortage of opportunities, and had my nice little apartment and my nice car and credit cards and big TV and PlayStation, whatever.
That little life,
little life, and but I always knew in the back of my mind that the days are just ticking by, and I'm not getting anything out of what I'm doing. So
exactly.
But yeah, it wasn't romantic at first. I took out the trash for 3 months, and now here we are.
Look at this, in this state of the art.
This place that no one knows about, that we can't tell anyone about. But I'm happy to be here.
No, yeah, because we were very excited to have you, for sure. I was worried about you your first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That's just real. I mean, I kept it to myself, but I was like, because I'm the same way. I want to be perfect from day one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do this, and I've got too many eyes on me, and because in the Army, I always sought out the external validation, which is what made it awful.
Because you
feel like a piece of shit, but the Army's going to remind you that you indeed are. There's no mentorship. It's just get your shit together and get it done. So you figure that out.
Okay.
But no, you fit right in. You're like the standard of what we want here.
Well, I don't know about that. I know the first couple of weeks were tough, but you went through it. Most people that come here go through it. You move to a new place. Mm-hmm. You learn it on the fly. At the same time, you're learning your responsibilities for the job. You're learning where the bathroom is and how do I do my laundry and
navigating 9 other personalities.
Yeah.
And exactly.
Finding out that you live in a house with 4 people, but also everyone else that works here also lives there. That was eye-opening. I had my own room the last 6 months I was on Midway.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I was ready for the challenge and knew it was going to be an adjustment period. And I feel very comfortable now, and 99% of that is you and the other people that work here that treat me like one of the family.
Good, you should. You've really, there's a card in the tarot. I only call it
tarot.
It's tarot, but one of my readers, she goes, "I'm thinking of Wheel of Fortune from the tarot." So I just I joke around.
Okay.
But I'm thinking of the 8 of Wands because the wands represent like our inner power, our ambition,
wand,
our speed, like a wand.
Whatever. Okay.
And the 8 of Wands is one of representing like fast movement. The card is literally just 8 wands.
Okay.
And whoever's carrying them is running.
Okay.
But that's like the energy I got out of you when you got here. Like you've really settled in. You've already got you're still dating, right?
Yeah.
I haven't even
I have a girlfriend.
Like a girlfriend, like it's settled.
Can we say this, what state we're in?
We're in Georgia. I
have a girlfriend in Georgia who grew up in Georgia. I've been here 2 months. It's insane. But yeah, we made we got real explicit with it, and we're officially using these words,
nice.
Girlfriend and boyfriend. So It's beautiful. It's wonderful. She's fantastic, and the distance
briefly.
is a little bit difficult, but we're working it out.
What is it?
Distance.
How far away?
Hour and a half. Everything.
Everything. Yeah, that's not even going to be an issue for me anymore. If it is for her, whatever ends up in my life, I'll be like, well, then you don't have to travel.
Yeah.
I'll do all of it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important. I go to Buckhead every week, and that's when I catch up on podcasts and have my alone time. And
so she's in Lawrenceville. So
that's where I came from.
Yeah. So the only issue really there is that she really likes Atlanta. She kind of grew up there, and so she knows little theaters and little dive bars and stuff that she likes to hang out. And so it's a lot harder to get into downtown Atlanta sometimes, just time-wise. You might add an extra half hour, 45 minutes to the drive just because of traffic or whatever. So we compromised with that. She's been up here twice. She's coming up here this week.
Nice. Yeah, well, if you guys ever want to get away, just, let me know.
You just time off, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make it happen.
It's we'll figure that we're working on something over the Christmas break. We're both in school, so we've got another couple of weeks before the semester's out, and then she's like, we got to get out of town over the holidays.
Heck yeah.
So
get out of town. I don't have that luxury.
Well,
lucky.
I know. Some of us are. No, I feel I want to just start talking about her for the next hour because she's a really special person. I think I've really gotten pretty lucky.
I just feel like you understand on a metaphysical, subconscious level what manifesting is.
It's got to be subconscious because it's not intentional.
It says you're in alignment with good things. Like you found this place, and it's like it's melding, and from my talks with the volunteers and guests, I mean, you're well liked. I've not heard one bad thing about you from anybody. And not even, like, no one's even complained about the Boyd House. And Jowett complains about everybody. He just says you're great.
All right.
So
I like that.
take that. But,
well, we can get in. I was a different person 10 years ago. And, I don't know if that's... I never used the Tarot. I never used the vision board, but sorry, I keep leaning in and probably spiking the volume.
No, you're fine. I would know. I'd see that beeping.
Yeah. But I made some intentional choices to approach things a different way in my life, and it's been very beneficial and productive. Mm-hmm. So I found for me personally a way to approach my life that seems to allow me to navigate difficulty a little bit easier than I used to, and not just crash out and disappear.
No, exactly. Same. I had that same experience. It's just like, okay, something's got to give, and it's going to have to be me.
Yeah. 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 So. I mean, I don't remember who at this point now, but somebody, for a little bit I was into the self-help guys and the gurus and stuff, and somebody said, you've got to take ownership of all of it, all of your faults, all of your fuck-ups, and
then forgive yourself.
And don't hold on to it, but nobody else is going to do that for you. And people are always going to take advantage of you or treat you badly. Like there's bad people in the world, whatever, but you can't control any of those things. You can just control how you behave and accept the fact that you're not perfect and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. It makes a difference too.
And then the feelings is what's important too, because if you're putting on a front but still feeling miserable, that's not going to do you any good, and you're not going to win. Because you're like, I'm smiling, but how do you feel? Like you have to feel confident, feel good. And when I took over this job, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it, but I have no idea how.
Yeah.
And 6 months later, I've not been given many other. What do you call it? Like, they're not telling me I'm doing it wrong.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. All right.
I've heard good things.
Yeah.
So I'll take that. But there's still that human side of you, your ego, that's like, guess what? You suck.
Sure. Sure. Imposter syndrome is a thing, But...
I mean, in the Army, driving around in Iraq in the Humvee.
Yeah.
A very coveted position, and it was like, I'm glad they're letting me play. But it's like, no, I was in that shit.
Hope they don't find out I don't belong.
Oh, they found that out way before.
Yeah.
My lieutenant, he was so mean to me my first day in the unit. Oh, man, he was mean. And then, because I remember we were doing a road march, and I had the radio, so I already had 50 extra pounds. We land, and he's like, England, you better know how to talk on that fucking thing, I swear to God. I was like, Roger, sir. But then the next day, because we had to stay in the field that night, next day he calls me, England, come here. And I run over there, freaking out. And he's like, do you live in Falcon Hills? I was like, yeah. He goes, you live in my fucking neighborhood. Friends ever since.
Well.
Went running at Kennesaw Mountain. He's like, you want to go to Taco Bell? Like, I still respected him and admired him and revered him. And I was like, I'm not going to reach out like he's a friend.
Right.
And I've kind of maintained that. But he's my Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
So.
That's great. You never know where those people are going to come from in your life.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been wanting to do this forever. And I have. I've never had a setup like this, but you start with your phone or whatever you have. And 10 years ago, I was starting them. And then I did one at this place in Atlanta used to exist called Wonder Root. I don't think it's still there. If it is, correct me. But you'd pay $10 a year. And you have access to a studio, pottery, paint, all this stuff. It's just this art collective they were trying to build. And it was completely volunteer run. So we tried to start a little studio podcast there. I think we got 3 episodes in and realized we had no idea what we were doing.
Right.
But got a job at Q100 too, right before I deployed. So about 6 months I got to work on air at the Atlanta market, which without being an intern I was not liked. But I'm like, watch me, watch what I'm going to do because I want to.
Yeah.
Not because you told me it has to go this way.
Right.
And that's how I still live. So I'm going to be the GM because I want to. Not. I did not say that when I went for it. I did the whole cover letter. I was very professional.
I was going to say.
But, it's just that mindset, though. Like, I'm going to not let anything defeat this drive.
Well, and I think more important, maybe you were willing to go out there and fall on your face. You're not gonna. You have to try and make a mess of it, most of the time before you get it right. Like there's some things in our lives that we're good at or whatever, maybe, but for the most part, it's just I'm gonna try this thing. I'm gonna start somewhere. I'm gonna just record with my phone. I'm gonna just write some words on the page. I'm gonna go out there and run around the block, whatever you're trying to do, and just figure it out.
Yeah, and if any of y'all out there are wondering what would that mean for you, that means, what do you think about nonstop?
Yeah.
What do you wish about nonstop? And it could be a number of things, because I've had a number of things. Music, I've done it. Trucking, done it. All that shit. What are you focused on, and what do you feel like you can't have? Because that's probably what it is. What you feel like you can't have.
Dream the impossible dream. No, I when I would sit at home after the bar shifts and think, why don't I have a dream like everybody else? Why don't I have this one job that I've always known I wanted to do? Well, I didn't, and I still really don't, as far as I want to be a fireman or whatever. But I had this is how I wish my life was operating. In other words, I wish I was experiencing new places, and I wish I was in unusual among different groups of people than the people I grew up with, and I wish I was learning more about what I'm capable of. Like there were sort of these ideas that they didn't coalesce into one, like apply for the X job, but they did say, are you willing to go live on a remote uninhabited island for 3 months? Okay, that's in the box, right? And so you try those things, and you set up a podcast studio in your friggin' cabin or whatever, and you figure it out.
And I'll keep it real. Are you willing, and this is not for you, you're obviously willing, but for those who haven't started yet, are you willing to go through that uncomfortable period?
Sure.
Because it will be.
Yeah.
Playing music, you picture yourself playing for sold-out crowds, singing your songs. My first 100 shows were in front of nobody, and if they were in front of people, they weren't reacting kind of shit. No, but I was developing the muscle memory on how to perform on stage. So when I finally got to play that show where they sang back at me, it was flawless.
Yeah. And much more meaningful than if you just walked out there and won American Idol or something. And
that viral, I don't have any interest in that viral.
Instant fame.
That's what this has been since March, setting roots. I don't know what it's doing right now. But
right.
It's fun as fuck.
I mean, I'm having fun. I told my girlfriend, I can't talk right now, babe. I got to go do a podcast. I'm a freaking celebrity.
Is that going to turn her on? Is she going to be like, ooh?
I mean,
the I'm Hoodie podcast? You don't say.
Well, that was her. She guessed that one immediately. She's like, just don't talk to me unless it's the I'm Hoodie podcast. Good. So she's a fan. She will be a subscriber after tonight, though. Well, don't you worry.
Heck yeah.
No, it's absolutely crucial, I think, to take the steps, take the lumps, take the bruises, whatever they are, before it maybe not necessary, because people get rich and famous and they're successful on accident, but you don't appreciate it, I don't think, unless you've had to do the work. So
exactly, and that's where I started thinking we don't have to go this deep. I'm just going to throw this out there. If you want to go this deep, we will. But I'm thinking about, say, Adam and Eve, right?
Okay.
If they were born into a perfect garden, then they don't understand gratitude. And maybe the serpent, which by now has been twisted into him manipulating them to making the worst decision for humanity, but could have been or you could wake up. And I'm not saying I believe in Adam and Eve. I think that's a metaphorical story.
Sure.
But the concept is one of gratitude is important for growth. That's why you see those silver spoon kids. They're so snotty. They don't know lack. So if you don't understand that, how can you appreciate abundance?
Well, and you can interpret that story in a number of ways. I may upset some of your viewers by my personal take, which is Adam and Eve, from my intensive reading of the Bible, and especially Genesis, which I have done, Adam and Eve were not given the ability to know the difference in right and wrong. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil was planted in the garden, and they weren't allowed to eat from it. That means, according to the text, that they did not have knowledge of good and evil before they ate from the tree. So they didn't know.
Look at that. I didn't even think about that.
Right?
Holy
if
shit.
If you can't gain the knowledge of good and evil, that means you lack it, which means you don't know the difference in right and wrong. All they knew was that God was telling them what to do. They didn't know that not doing what God said was wrong. They just knew that he threatened to kill them if they didn't do what he told them. He said, if you eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, on that day you will die. And so, which was a lie, because they didn't die. They ate from the tree and didn't die. So I have a lot of opinions about the Bible. But
me too.
But the point is,
me too.
In the context that we're talking about, so they didn't know, like you said, that the Garden of Eden was good. They just knew it was. And they didn't know they had nothing to compare it to. And this is the argument you'll get a lot from Christians, that the fall is what gave us the ability to appreciate good and bad. Without pain and suffering, we wouldn't appreciate, joy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's valid. Like, that is true. Like, that's what we've been talking about. You have to go out there and take your lumps and put up with failing and getting back up again. And that's how you appreciate your success or anything good really in your life. But if we're taking the story literally, which again I don't either. Yeah, that's literally what happened. Like, they didn't have in their brains the concept of right and wrong, so they were just doing what they were told because they were threatened with death. And so then when the snake says, no, he's not going to kill you. Well, they don't know what lying is. They don't have any clue that doing what the snake did is any worse than doing what God told them to do. The snake's just not telling them they're not going to die. They're like, okay. And then you get into like, Eve ate the apple because the apple was sweet. Then she gave the apple to Adam, and he blames her. Somehow, like, instantly they turn into the worst of humanity. Like, they immediately start blaming each other and lying to God and hiding from him, and like all of the things can crash down. So ultimately, it's just a morality tale. Like, do what's right, or else bad things will happen. But
which was indoctrinated into me, like, for decades. I really believed it, and I was it's just not that hard to believe that God's going to do this. And no, because growing up, it's like you have to have faith. So if you question that faith, you suddenly don't have faith, and then that'll make you think you're going to hell for hours. So when I finally got past that, oh god, what a freeing feeling to realize, okay, if there's a God, he's probably really good, or they, or whoever, are probably good.
Right.
And that religion has twisted it into fear sells tickets.
I mean, if you really dig into, especially the Old Testament, like, God is a son of a bitch. Like,
freaking savage.
The worst creature that could ever be. And that, even if, whatever, I don't know if there's a God. I don't think there is, but I could be wrong. Certainly not that.
Not being, like that, no.
Right?
Smiting.
I mean, just the slavery he promotes, rape is condoned. I mean, it's awful, the stuff and the genocide of the flood. I mean, you're talking about millions of. You want to talk about pro-life? Like, millions of pregnant women died in the flood. God is responsible for more abortions than anyone in the history of mankind, because every woman that's ever had a miscarriage has happened against her will. So
that was the main point of my deconstruction, was to take away a loving entity from humanity, which the Bible is humanity.
Okay.
And they certainly make it sound like they believe it's God's word, and I just like, okay, it doesn't make sense like that. Yeah. There's no way.
There's just no way.
So
there's no way that is the literal truth, and that is the morality we're supposed to aspire to. So
ain't gonna happen.
No, let's be good people.
And then why didn't Jesus
not because we're being threatened with death, but because it's the right thing to do.
Thank you. And that's the whole thing. When people still talk shit to me about running tarot or doing all this, they're like, it's so evil and all this. It's like, well, then if me wanting to love others and just raise the overall vibe of humanity is evil, then I'll take that title.
I mean, have you ever dug into what the Church of Satan is all about? It's like helping the less fortunate, treating people as equals.
See, I'm okay with that, but they're using that name to stir the pot.
Correct.
So that's where my problem is with it.
They are trolling Christianity, but they are trying to be the best people that they can be, like, as the core tenets of their philosophy of life. So, but people freak out because Baphomet and the devil,
right?
And if it's all real, we're gonna go to hell.
And a lot of pastors will take away all accountability by blaming Satan or demons,
sure.
whatever.
Yep.
It's like, okay, but where are these little demons? Because the humans are the vessels.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that'd be a very weak human to be allowed to be possessed.
Yes.
I would know what's taking over me. Get me help.
I mean, there's any number of ways to justify that or rationalize it, I'm sure, in the minds of true believers. But, yeah, you're telling me that it's our fault if we disobey God, but also demons are capable of taking over and violating our free will. Like, we can't, both things can't be true.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's just myth and lore built on centuries and
of
centuries
course
and centuries. And I think humanity, I think we are powerful. Like, you know, because we can conjure feelings.
Sure.
And I tend to notice my reality reflecting my inner feelings, my dominant ones.
okay.
So that's why I call it powerful. Because if I have the power to make today a good day or a bad day.
Yes.
And some days I choose bad.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate that.
It can, as you said early on, it can be comforting to be sad and be in pain and be just pessimistic or negative with
There's
your
power
outlook.
in that, too.
There is, and there's comfort in it. But
But I've always known when I act on that feel-good power of anger,
mm-hmm.
I regret it tenfold
sure.
later.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
The power of the dark side is hard to resist. But
Do you like musicals?
musicals? Yeah. Sure, yeah. 1776 is one of my favorites. I like Phantom of the Opera,
That's a good one.
Les Mis.
So you understand the structure of a good musical.
Sure. I mean, I'm not a student of them, but I appreciate them.
Would you like to hear? Because I was going to...
Yes.
I didn't plan this originally, but I've decided to showcase a couple songs I've written.
Oh, great.
The voices are AI,
Okay.
but...
Let's do it.
I don't have a million people willing to sing for me, but I'm working on a musical
not
kind
either.
of thing, you know.
Okay, that's
I've
cool.
got this weird idea I'm cooking up, but I've definitely got like the arcs completed. So I'm picturing this one as like the opening song.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay. Let's do it.
Woke up made of smoke again, lungs full of last night's ghost. Dreams left fingerprints on me, cold as winter on the coast. Coffee's begging for a purpose, mirrors begging for a light. I just shrug and tell them both, boys, I'm learning how to try.
Tie my laces with a prayer, drag my shadow down the stairs. God, I swear that I was lied once, guess I left it somewhere there. But hey, I'm crawling toward the daylight, bleeding out the night's old fight. I'm broken but I'm upright, and somehow that's enough. Yeah, the world is out there spinning, the sun insists on winning, and if my heart keeps beating, I'll give him all my love. Radio booth looks holy now, a chapel built to courts. Every button is a promise, every broadcast is a sword. So I swallow all the silence, flip the switch to gold and bright, and the dead man in my ribcage learns to rise again on air tonight. Tie my courage to the mic stand, hold the tremor in my right hand, fake the spark until it catches, you know I'll set fire to this land. 'Cause hey, I'm stepping into daylight, leaving all the fears I
morning. Let's try again.
Not paying attention. That's it.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
So.
Now, is this what you think of as the beginning of the show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's kind of introducing like these 3 miserable people, and then
There's 3. Okay.
the show ends with them not being miserable.
So are we? Because with the imagery that's standing out to me is my lungs are full of last night's ghost, and I'm dragging my shadow down the stairs. Mm-hmm. But the sun insists on winning. So we screwed up last night, or we had a bad time, or we overindulged, or whatever the case may be. Maybe we just gave in to our darker angels, and then now we're going to try again today, and see if we can, find our way back to the light. So,
somewhat, yes. That's kind of where I'm heading with it. So imagine, for example's sake, one of the characters is obviously going to be someone who works in a little radio station.
Okay.
Because that's something I know.
Okay.
And they don't see the ripple of what they've done in life. So think of it like a modern take on It's a Wonderful Life. But they're not going to see what their life is like without them. They're just going to wake up to it during. So this guy,
become aware of their impact on others or something. Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of people.
Sure.
Do make impacts on people, and you never know. I don't know what this is doing of all the over like thousands and thousands of like accumulated views and stuff of the podcast and this. It's like I have no idea.
Well, and sometimes we don't know ourselves. We sort of we take in, especially these days, so much sensory input, and then it sort of filters into maybe a new opinion that you have, or a new way of approaching any situation. You don't know for sure. Oh, that was because I watched that one episode of Hoodie, but
right.
But maybe it's a piece of the puzzle,
And for instance, I've told the story before, but I tell it because I hold on to this. But when I was in the band Broken City Sky, it had actually been a few years that we had already broken up and ended. But this lady finds me on Instagram and messages me, and she's like, "I know you guys aren't together, but my son's turning 14, and all he wants is your band to come play." And it's like,
that's cool.
Whoa,
that's amazing.
Like, I remember being 13, 14. That was when I was first deciding I wanted to be a musician and write songs and try that. So the fact that I impacted another kid that age,
amazing.
That feels really awesome.
Yeah.
And we didn't make it. I feel like now, a couple years later, I could have been like, let's just go show up and say hey, but that just didn't cross my mind at the time. I was just like, well, send him a big happy birthday. You've made my day, and stuff. So.
Well, I mean, I think that's always a rewarding feeling when you, I guess, find out, oh, my
art has worked,
has impacted someone. This is the purpose I'm looking for. But it's, I don't know, that's probably less common than just putting it out there and not getting any response or not knowing.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool too. These are going to come out either way. It's just you want your own ego stroked.
Sure.
I want to know that I'm not wasting my time and that I'm saying something that other people, because I did not have the best, last 30 years per se. So
sure.
Things have been good. I'm not saying I haven't been blessed in a lot of areas, but my own emotional output was not what it could have been.
I mean,
and so to be able to break out of being this miserable person and finding happiness, you want to share that.
Yeah, sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
I
also
know that it's working.
Yeah, and I want to point out to the people that are not doing that, regardless if they think they are. So I guess the motto or my philosophy would be live and let live. But if the way you're living hurts someone else, that's what's wrong. That's what I have a problem with.
Yes.
So I cannot live and let live. Does that fall under the umbrella of that? Kind of. But if you're stopping it, I feel protector duties.
Someone explained tolerance to me once. They said it's like a contract. We've agreed that we will accept anyone for I guess you'd say those of us who signed the contract have agreed that we'll accept anyone for the way they are, like physically, how they're born, how their mind works. None of that, what they look like none of those things matter. What matters is, do you hurt people or do you try to help people?
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if you're successful or you're a philanthropist or if you, are just live alone and never interact with anyone else. You're not, the people that are hurting people have violated the contract.
Yep.
And so we don't tolerate them. So that's how you get that tolerance paradox thing. People will say, well, you tolerate everyone except for people that disagree with you. Well, I tolerate everyone except for people that want to hurt other people.
Right.
If that's where we disagree, the problem is not that we have different political views. It's that you're trying to hurt someone. So I live and let live everyone as long as they're not trying to hurt.
So we have the same philosophy, it sounds like.
Yes, I totally agree. It was just
awesome.
Someone said that to me, and I was like, because I'd struggle with that. I was raised in a very right-leaning conservative Christian household, and I have 180 degrees turned from that in the last maybe 5 years. Yeah. And so my whole family is upset about it for the most part, and we would have these conversations. Well, now, you hate us just because we vote Republican. No, I don't. Well, first of all, I don't hate you. You're my family, but the reason I don't want to engage in the lifestyle that I used to live is because I think that what you're doing is harming other people. And now that's a conversation in and of itself, whether you think, whatever anyone feels about certain political or socioeconomic views about what's good for humanity or whatever. Like, that's a huge conversation. But when I've decided that this behavior I think is harmful to people, I don't want to tolerate that in my life. I don't want those people in my life. Yep. And there's people in my family that have had to say, I don't want to communicate with you anymore because I don't think it's I'm worried that someone in my life might be hurt by you, right?
It's like, okay, support, fine. I understand it, but now you support that. Don't come reaching out in 10 years kind of shit. Because there's nothing anyone in my family could do that would make me cut them off. Yeah. I can't think of it. Maybe murdering babies. There's some extremes. But I'd still be like, I'll send you commissary money. Yeah. I know you fucked up. And I don't mean killing babies in an abortion way. I mean it in a literal sacrificial, disgusting Mad Max way. Right. I'd have a problem with that. Don't get it twisted. But, me doing tarot, I don't know why so many people went radio silent for that. Come on. It's fun.
Again, things like that, my girlfriend jokes around about astrology, and she's like, "Oh, it's fun. We just joke around about, and it's because you're this or that, whatever." I'm like, it's cute. It's fun. It's a little game we play. But if you think that actually things in your life are going to be affected by the alignment of the stars, that or whatever, or what day you were born and stuff, that's a different approach. So I'm trying to relate this to tarot poorly, but as we said kind of earlier, if you think that they're actually demons that are aware of what cards are turned over, or that some evil forces are going to affect your life because you're playing with tarot cards, then you've lost the point of why you're doing it, which is just because it's fun and interesting.
It's connection, and it's just a way to open your eyes to whatever you're currently feeling anyways. So it's kind of like the Bible. You can make it say anything you want.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
So, but it's just,
not meant to be taken literally.
It kind of hits. I'm not going to go over this with you because that's
okay.
It wouldn't make any sense.
Okay.
But I will
I don't know anything about tarot. I shouldn't probably comment on how people feel about it. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
So, it's hard to describe. Literally a year ago, you'd ask me about tarot, I'd be like, the fuck is tarot? Mm-hmm. It's one of those weird things that the algorithm tested on me. Okay. And then it worked. It's just, I'm hooked. Okay. And so I went and started buying decks and learning about the cards. I see that you have
multiple decks.
So this was the first one I bought, and then I bought this one that I'm about to use now, and this one was a gift. No, I don't remember where I got that one. This one was a gift. That was a gift. And I bought those two. Those are oracle decks. So those are just kind of good advice. They're like fortune cookies.
Okay. Which, again, you can kind of twist to mean what you want to mean a lot of times. Fortune cookies, anyway.
Right. I don't even think fortune cookies are fun because it's just tomorrow will be sunny.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Maybe.
I like to play this game.
Okay.
Where it's a 3-card pull, I call it. And the question is, which I need to warn them. There you go. Whoops. So, like, you don't have to play. But
okay.
I'll do... Okay, I've got the picture in my head. I'm thinking of one of my exes. Okay. And I don't have any ill will towards or anything. I'm just like, okay, we were in each other's life for a while, over a decade ago.
Sure.
How I view her, how she views me, the outcome. That's the game. And so then you've made that clear. So I'm going to pull this out. Boom. 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 Okay, so how I view her is the 7 of Swords. What does that mean, Jeff?
I don't know.
I'll tell you. So I'll go to the 7 of Swords. Dishonesty, deception, sneaky, getting away with something or trying to, cheating, theft, plagiarism, stolen ideas, running away, sneaking off, going behind someone's back, false loyalty, disloyal. Maybe I actually hate this bitch.
I want to say, do you think that you said maybe I hate her.
I was joking
You are joking.
Because I'm very neutral to her, so that is going to tie into this somehow. Like, I'm going to, because all these
But do you not think it can just be completely wrong because it's has nothing to do with it?
I've done a lot, like when I really tap into energy, I'm not really tapped in right now. I'm just kind of in 101 mode.
Okay.
If that makes sense. But when I really tap in, and I don't do readings for myself. I think I've done 1 or 2.
Okay.
I mainly do them for other people. I'll kind of tap in to the energy, read the cards, and then I'll just type out this paragraph, and I'll send it to them. And it's never been wrong yet.
Okay.
Danielle, I've done Goose several times. My friend Samantha, numerous times. And it's not anything to do with the cards. Now? It's not anything to do with the cards. It's more of my own intuition.
Okay.
Like I read people pretty well. If I tap in.
Okay, but that's a different thing than which card you flip over necessarily informing your feelings, I guess is my question.
Right, I'm not going to let the card tell me how I feel, but I'm going to say, okay, I pulled that. What do I need to observe of my own energy that could possibly, good or bad? Mm-hmm. What am I missing? Mm-hmm. So when the 7 of Swords appears, it's important to understand that not everything is as it seems. There may be someone or something, or maybe even yourself, that isn't showing you the full truth. Be cautious with every decision you make and who you trust and allow into your space during this time. Use your intellect to see past the illusion that is being presented. Okay, so here's like that 7 of Swords card. Not necessarily deception, but I had that talk with her after a couple months. We had our first smooch, whatever. Where are we? Where do we stand? Mm-hmm. Boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever.
Right.
Boom, she cut it off.
Okay.
2 days later, I fucked up. I was just enjoying the time. I was like, okay, I'll give it another chance. 3 days later, she cuts it off again.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's very, not deception. It's just very sneak. It's very.
Well, she maybe was unsure of what she wanted or.
Running away, false loyalty, disloyal. I'm not saying these are necessarily a bad thing, but she was not fully in it. That's for sure.
That is for sure. She wasn't fully invested in the relationship, no.
And so, like, swords representing truth. It's like, what's the truth between us? And we kept going back and forth. There was no real truth between us, which is what this is basically saying. It's deception, sneaky, lying. And that's not saying we were lying at her. That was the energy surrounding the relationship. So when I thought of her, that makes sense why this would come out. Because it wasn't a 10 of cups, say, or like the sun, for instance, is like the best card you could pull.
Okay.
So, boom.
Now, are there different cards in different decks?
No.
Different artwork?
It's just different artwork, really. They do have different, like 7 of trees. I've never heard of that, but that is one of them.
There are some that are different.
So I just told you what happened with me and her.
Yes.
She didn't know she wanted to be with me back and forth. Right. That's what 7 of Cups is all about. Decisions. And this is a bad representation of the original tarot deck. It's a beautiful card if you know what it means.
Okay.
But basically, in the original, each of these cups has something coming out of it. Money, poison, a snake. So it's like there's all these choices. Some of them are for your better, highest good. Some of them are not.
Okay.
So I was one of her 7 cups.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How did she know that you were one of the cups?
Well, just her not committing to me made it pretty obvious.
Okay.
You know,
I'm lost.
Okay, so like me and her were dating. We dated.
Right.
Are we going to be together?
Yeah.
No. 2 days later, yes.
Yeah.
2 days later, no.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. I've got this going. So me, the overall energy between us was one of not making any commitments. It wasn't settled. There was no fact to it.
Okay.
And for her, because this card was pulled for how does she feel about me? Because this
Okay.
was me about her. This is her, how does she feel about me?
Okay.
The energy surrounding it was one of unknown. Like she had so many options that she couldn't settle on one.
Okay. So the cups are different things that you want in your life?
Cups represent emotions. So there's
Okay.
a whole suite of cups. So, like, this is that one I was telling you about, the 8 of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
Those are wands. That's like ambition, firepower.
Okay.
Here's the 10 of Cups. It represents emotional happiness. I mean, look at it.
They look very happy.
Yep. And let's see if I can find the 7 of Cups. Come on.
Dead air.
It's gonna show up. There it is.
Okay.
See what I mean? Like here's the 7 of Cups, the
Okay.
original. Like that's a person.
Right.
That's a snake.
Mm-hmm.
There's treasure in that one. There's a looks like a beautiful life. That one has like a pretty wreath coming out, but there's a skull. You
skull.
don't know. So you just don't know. But they're all available for the better or worse. There's a lesson in all of them, no matter what.
Are you picking one of them, or are you just...
It says representing of the energy.
Okay.
So there's no game. Like, no, you're not picking a cup. It's just her image of me was one of, I could have been that, but she was still looking at all the other cups. She was still deciding.
Okay.
She didn't choose me.
Right.
That's fine. I probably wouldn't have chose her anyways.
I mean, that happens.
So what's the outcome of this relationship? The Ace of Wands, which... new excitement or enthusiasm, bursting with energy, motivation, inspiration, starting a new project or endeavor, take action, do it, move, an opportunity for growth. Our relationship was an opportunity for growth. That's really what it came down to.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, that's really it.
Okay.
I don't...
Is that always the way you do it? Like the 3 cards, the 3
No.
questions or whatever? Or there's all different ways?
For Samantha, the first time I did one for her, I think I ended up pulling like 15 cards.
Okay.
Because you can really tie the arcs together. And some of these tarot people are going to think I'm being disrespectful when I'm like, you can make it say anything, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, but I'm not meaning it in a disrespectful way.
No, but it does seem like there's a lot of room for interpretation.
There is. And
Like you said,
you've got
as with the Bible, as with,
right.
most
That's
of
why
those
I think it's
Holy
important to
Ghost.
have that intuition and to read energy. So,
Mm-hmm.
which I've fought for 40 years. I've just this last year started being like, oh shit, that's why I'm so sensitive. Not like in a don't insult me way, but I'm sensitive to, I can pick up when people are in moods.
Okay.
And I really don't, I'm not going to go up and be like, oh, I can tell you're sad today.
Mm-hmm.
Very often.
Mm-hmm.
But I will pick up on it. And I don't have to pull cards for that. This is just something I do to kill time, really.
Okay.
Like, it's just fun. I really enjoy it. They're pretty. They're beautiful
No,
cards.
are pretty. The artwork is lovely.
It's very nice,
Yeah.
But
I love anything that's wrapped in like cloth or leather or something with like a strap. Just
Mm-hmm.
that whole aesthetic really works for me, like journals and things like that.
yeah, dude, that's
Big
like
fan.
these things are. Jawed actually gave them to me
Very cool.
for my birthday. Like he gave me these. There's 4 of them or 5 of them. I have one.
Yeah.
It's got other things wrapped up in it, and then he also gave me this coin, which has the astrological signs on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's for. I mean, I guess I could use it as a heads or tail, but I just really I love coins.
You do love coins?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. This is my challenge coin I got from my unit.
Oh, cool.
May have shown that to you. I know I earned it because the guy that gave it to me hated me.
Okay.
And so-
Long range surveillance, was that the challenge?
No, that's just the unit I was in. That's at the challenge coin. So like I can carry it because of I was in the unit.
Okay.
And it was a gift.
Okay.
So basically with that, whenever I'm around guys in my unit, you pull out your coin. That's the challenge. Everybody else now has to pull out their coin. Okay. Whoever doesn't buys the next round of beer. Boom. Everybody has a coin. Then the lowest number has to buy the beer.
Okay.
So like, see, I'm number 103. I don't know I don't know how high or low it goes.
Is it just random that somebody's lower, or is it like you earn a higher? Okay.
Yeah. No.
And then is it like
straight random?
You're just supposed to have it on you, so that's why you have to buy if you don't have it on.
Like first sergeants will come and coin challenge you in the shower.
Yeah.
Like that's what they'll do. But yeah, I like to journal. With a
oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's the kind of thing. Yeah.
And this is my pen. Like.
Oh, that's fancy.
I don't know if I've shown them. I have that one. I have a red one.
You have a quill and everything. Yeah. Nice.
Got the ink, and then sometimes I'll melt some wax, like you do.
And seal.
Seal it in certainty.
That is just old school as hell. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't go that far with it, but yeah.
But yeah, so tarot is, it's fun. And I do tell when I do readings all the time, I'm like, don't do anything because I said to. Do it because of your own heart.
Yeah.
This is just fun. Like, it's just fun. So, it's just, I happen to be able to say things that people resonate with.
Well, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I'm all for it.
I'm trying to raise them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Raise it up. Raise it up.
Not like I showed you.
This has been fun, though. Like, this was really good. I feel like we could go for another 6 hours.
Yeah, I'm having a good time. I've got, I was like, well, we haven't talked about a lot of things. But we've talked about a lot of things, so that's kind of cool.
I'll definitely like to bring you back.
That'd be cool. I was going to say, maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Whenever you'd like.
Yeah.
I got to get Michael in here tomorrow because I'm hurting his feelings. I've canceled on him twice.
Oh, no, he told me he was excited. Yeah. Well, definitely. Everybody wants to be a part of it.
It's just fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And if nothing else, at the end of the day or the end of the 10 years, whenever this is, I can go back and be like, look what I have memories. I got to hang out and connect with these people.
Yeah.
And we had conversations, and that means something to me because I'm not faking it,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you and I are just sitting here talking, and we wouldn't necessarily carve out an hour to just sit and bullshit with each other with nothing else going on.
Right, unless we're in the office or something.
Yeah. So, I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Fucking A.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. This has been Kyle.
If you're scared, do it scared.
That's right. If you're scared.
Right?
I'm telling you, it builds a strength that you can feel in your rib cage, and it'll make the next adventure not even seem that deep.
Cool.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Fuck off. Ooh.